Ethan's farm stretched wide across the gentle hills of his home planet. The morning sun spilled golden light over rows of wheat and barley, and the air smelled fresh, mixed with the scent of earth and dew. Birds sang in the distance, and the hum of insects filled the quiet fields. Ethan worked steadily, his hands rough from years of labor, planting seeds in neat lines. Life was simple, but it was good. Ethan had always believed that simplicity held its own kind of magic. The village nearby was small, with friendly faces and neighbors who shared smiles more often than worries. Yet, despite the calm, Ethan liked the quiet. His farm was his world, and he felt at peace in its routine. Tending crops, feeding animals, repairing fences, and watching the sun rise and set. That morning, as he bent over a row of young wheat, he noticed something strange near the far edge of the farm. A shadow moved unusually across the field. At first, he thought it was a bird, or maybe one of the larger farm animals. But as he squinted, he saw the unmistakable outline of a creature large, scaly, and unlike anything he had ever seen. Curiosity mixed with caution, Ethan approached slowly, holding a spade just in case. The creature was wounded, lying on the grass, its shimmering scales catching the sunlight like fragments of rainbow. Its wings, though folded, looked powerful enough to carry it across the skies. Its eyes, deep and intelligent, flickered open as Ethan neared. Pain radiated from its body. Yet there was a spark of awareness that startled Ethan. He froze. Fear gripped him for a moment. An alien? A dragon? His mind raced with questions. But something inside him stirred a need to help. A recognition that this being was not simply a threat. "Easy, I won't hurt you," he whispered, though he wasn't sure if the creature understood. The dragon-like soldier tried to stand but fell back onto the grass with a soft grunt. Ethan noticed its armor. It was sleek, metallic, and fitted perfectly to its body. Some panels were scorched, others scratched. This was no wild animal. This was a warrior, but one who had been beaten in some faraway battle. Ethan's fear slowly melted into determination. He fetched water from his well and carefully poured it near the creature's mouth. It hesitated, then licked at the water with a thin, flickering tongue. That small trust encouraged Ethan. Over the next few hours, Ethan worked carefully to examine the creature's injuries. Broken scales, shallow burns, and a wing that seemed badly sprained would require attention. He didn't have advanced medical tools, but he had knowledge of herbs and natural remedies. Mixing crushed leaves with clean water, he applied them to the wounds, speaking softly all the while. "I don't know your name, but I'll help you," he said. The creature tilted its head, as if it understood, its golden eyes watching him closely. As the sun climbed higher, a gentle breeze rustled the crops. Ethan took a small meal he had prepared for himself and offered a piece of bread. The dragon soldier sniffed, and then, carefully, took it. It was awkward, but the gesture felt like a bridge forming between two worlds. By the evening, the creature could lift its head and even flex its injured wings slightly. Ethan had prepared a place for it in his barn. Lined with blankets and straw, it rested, its breathing slowing, yet its eyes remained alert, watching Ethan as he moved about the farm. That night, Ethan sat on the edge of the barn, looking at the stars. The farm felt both smaller and larger than ever before. He thought about the life he had lived, simple and quiet, and how suddenly it had changed. A creature from another world now shared his home, and yet, he felt no fear. Instead, he felt a strange bond forming. "Who are you?" he asked quietly. The creature only blinked, its eyes reflecting the moonlight. Ethan didn't realize he was speaking aloud when the creature shifted and made a soft sound, a low hum that resonated in the air. The sound was not human, not animal. But somehow, it felt like an attempt to communicate. Ethan leaned closer, feeling a thrill of wonder. Over the next few days, Ethan continued to care for the wounded soldier. He built splints for the wing, applied herbal salves, and even crafted simple tools to help the creature move without strain. Meanwhile, He began noticing other changes. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the creature's armor, pulsing gently whenever it seemed in pain. Occasionally, the symbols would light up in patterns that seemed deliberate. Ethan realized that the creature might be trying to communicate. He tried mimicking the patterns with his own tools, drawing shapes in the dirt, pointing to objects. The alien responded slowly, tilting its head, tapping its claws, and making faint hums. While it was not yet language as humans understood, there was connection, a mutual understanding forming through effort and patience. One evening, while Ethan was repairing a fence, the creature suddenly stiffened. Its wings rose slightly, and it let out a sharp, warning sound. Ethan turned to see a glowing device partially hidden under its armor flashing. Strange lines of light moved across its surface. Ethan realized it wasn't a toy. It was some kind of signal device. "What is it?" Ethan asked, curiosity overtaking caution. He reached toward the device carefully. The creature flinched but did not resist. The screen displayed moving dots and patterns, clearly a map, with a path leading to somewhere far beyond their planet. Ethan's heart raced. More ships? Reinforcements? Or enemies? He spent the night thinking, pacing the barn, unable to sleep. His life had been peaceful, predictable, and now it felt like a thread in the middle of something much larger. But Ethan did not feel fear alone. There was determination, a spark of courage that he had not known he possessed. If danger was coming, he would meet it. Not with weapons alone, but with his mind, his skills, and his willingness to act with care. Days passed. The dragon soldier slowly regained strength. It could move around the barn with less difficulty and even practice small leaps outside, flapping its injured wing cautiously. Ethan watched with pride. He spoke to it as often as possible, sharing stories of his farm, of the sunrises, of the village people who would never know the story unfolding in the quiet fields. The villagers, of course, noticed something unusual. Lights in the barn late at night, sounds of strange movements, glimpses of shimmering scales. Whispers spread strange beast in Ethan's barn, alien creature on the farm. Most villagers were curious, some fearful. But Ethan did not waver. He continued his work, careful not to alarm anyone, but steadfast in his commitment to help his unusual guest. One afternoon, while tending the fields, Ethan noticed something remarkable. The dragon soldier, fully healed now, began lifting its wings with a power that made the air shimmer. He had not realized how large and strong the creature was until that moment. He stepped back, in awe. "You're ready," he said softly. The creature looked at him, then gave a small, almost imperceptible nod. But as the sun dipped toward the horizon, a new sound filled the sky, a low hum, distant at first, then growing louder. Ethan stopped, heart pounding. The dragon soldier stiffened beside him, eyes scanning the horizon. Far above the fields, tiny specks of light appeared, growing larger by the second. Ships, alien ships, sleek and shining, moving with precision. Ethan's mind raced. The signal device, the map. Everything made sense now. The wounded soldier had not been alone. Its people were coming. But why here? Why his farm? The creatures aboard those ships were unknown. Friend or foe? Ethan did not know. He looked at the dragon soldier, who now stood tall, wings partially spread, scales gleaming under the setting sun. In that moment, he felt a strange confidence. He had made a choice to help, to act with compassion. And he would not run from what came next. The ships descended slowly, their shadows stretching across the fields. The air vibrated with energy, but no weapons were fired, at least not yet. Ethan's fingers gripped the edge of his tool, not as a weapon, but as a support. He could feel the quiet tension. The moment before history shifted, the dragon soldier stepped forward, lowering its head slightly in what seemed a gesture of reassurance. Ethan nodded back. Together, human and alien, they would face whatever arrived. And then, The first ship touched the ground with a soft hum, its landing ramp extending. Ethan held his breath. This was the start of something larger than himself. Larger than his farm. He did not know what awaited, but he knew one thing clearly. Humanity had a role to play. Even here, on this quiet planet, in this unexpected encounter, the stars above seemed to shine a little brighter as the ships settled, the alien dragon soldier standing between Ethan and the unknown, ready to defend, ready to guide, and ready to show what courage and care could achieve across worlds. Ethan's farm had never been so alive. The alien ships rested across the wide fields, their smooth metallic surfaces reflecting the golden light of the rising sun. The quiet hum of their engines filled the air, vibrating softly under his feet. For the first time, Ethan felt the full weight of the universe pressing close to his little world. Yet, he did not feel fear, only curiosity and determination. The dragon soldier stood near him, its powerful wings partially folded, scales gleaming with health. It seemed to watch Ethan as closely as he watched it. Together, they walked toward the nearest ship, the tension in the air thick but not hostile. The ship's ramp extended automatically, a silent invitation. Ethan swallowed hard. "All right," he muttered to himself. "Let's see who you are." The moment he stepped onto the ship, he realized how different everything was. The floor was smooth but slightly transparent, glowing faintly with energy beneath his feet. Panels on the walls displayed symbols that shifted and changed constantly, almost alive. Strange lights pulsed softly, giving the whole room a calm, almost serene feeling. The dragon soldier moved beside him, and then something remarkable happened. A doorway opened on its own, revealing figures unlike anything Ethan had seen. They were tall, elegant, and scaled like the dragon soldier, but their shapes were more humanoid, with glowing eyes and subtle wings folded against their backs. Their presence radiated authority, yet also intelligence and calm. Ethan stepped forward cautiously. I'm Ethan. I live here," he said, his voice trembling slightly. One of the alien figures approached, tilting its head. Then, in a voice that echoed in his mind rather than through sound, the words formed. "We are aware of your actions. You saved one of our warriors. That courage is noted." Ethan blinked, startled. "Telepathy?" He nodded slowly. I wanted to help." The alien seemed to smile, or at least, what Ethan thought of as a smile. "That is more than many would do. Your kindness is rare among humans. You understand that even a stranger deserves care." Ethan felt a warmth spread through him. He had spent so many years working the land, helping animals, neighbors, friends, but never imagined that such simple acts could mean anything to beings from across the stars. The dragon soldier stepped forward, making a low hum, as if reinforcing Ethan's words. The leader of the aliens observed this interaction closely, and Ethan realized that the dragon soldier was more than a guest. It was a bridge, a representative of its people. "Your world is quiet, yet it holds value," the alien continued. "We are here seeking allies. A threat moves across our territories, and we need those who can think, adapt, and act with courage. You have shown such qualities." Ethan's mind raced. Allies? Threats? War? He had grown crops, fixed fences, and tended to animals. He was no soldier. Yet, in some small way, he had made a choice that mattered in the grand scheme of the universe. Before he could respond, a soft chime echoed through the room. The dragon soldier raised a claw, pointing to one of the displays. On the screen, red blips moved quickly across a star map. The alien's expressions shifted slightly. Even to Ethan's untrained eye, he could see concern. "Scouts report a hostile force approaching," the alien said. "They are faster than expected. Their numbers are significant. We require assistance to prepare." Ethan's stomach tightened. He had never fought in any battle. His weapons were simple farm tools. Yet, looking at the dragon soldier, then at the aliens, he felt a stirring of resolve. "Tell me what I can do," he said. The alien nodded. "Your knowledge of terrain and ingenuity is valuable. You will assist us in preparation. We will guide you." Ethan spent the next hours learning. The aliens showed him ways to modify his farm equipment for defense. Irrigation channels could slow attackers. Hay bales could act as barriers, and plows could dig traps. Ethan's mind, used to thinking about crops and animals, adapted quickly to strategic planning. The dragon soldier became his mentor, demonstrating how to use its strength to move heavy objects, build defenses, and organize the farm efficiently. Together, human and alien worked side by side. The once quiet farm hummed with activity. A mix of alien technology and human practicality blending into something uniquely effective. Villagers began to notice the activity. Some came to see what was happening, curiosity outweighing fear. Ethan explained cautiously, careful to avoid panic. "We have friends here," he said. "They are not here to harm us, but we need to prepare in case of danger." Some villagers were skeptical, whispering among themselves about monsters and invaders. But many stayed, helping wherever they could, and slowly, trust began to grow. Humans and aliens, working together on a quiet planet, creating defenses for a future none of them fully understood. One night, while resting briefly in the barn, Ethan looked up at the stars. The dragon soldier stood beside him, its golden eyes reflecting the moonlight. "You trust them?" Ethan asked softly. The soldier made a low, rumbling hum, leaning slightly against him. That simple gesture conveyed more than words could: trust, gratitude, and readiness. Ethan nodded. If this creature could trust him, he could trust the larger mission too. Days passed, and the tension in the air thickened. Scouts reported the hostile force moving faster, closing in on the planet. Ethan's strategies became more intricate. He built false trails to mislead, set up observation points with reflective surfaces, and trained villagers to act quickly without panic. Then, the first sign of the approaching enemy arrived, not ships, but probes. Small, fast, gliding objects zipped across the fields, scanning, searching. Ethan and the dragon soldier worked in tandem, disabling some probes using clever traps, luring them into pits or tangles of ropes and wires. Each small success strengthened the villagers' confidence and showed the aliens the resourcefulness of humans. The alien leader observed closely, occasionally offering guidance. "Your tactics are unconventional, yet effective. Humans have an instinct for adaptation that many species lack." Ethan smiled despite the tension. He had never imagined his simple life could have such significance. His farm, his routines, his knowledge of the land, all of it mattered in ways he could not have dreamed. Then, one evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a new sound filled the air, a deep rumble, unlike anything Ethan had heard before. The dragon soldier stiffened, wings spreading wide. Red lights flashed on the horizon. Enemy ships, hundreds of them, their sleek shapes cutting through the sky with precise formations. Ethan's heart pounded. He had never seen war in real life. Yet, looking at the dragon soldier and the aliens standing ready, he realized that fear alone would not help. Strategy, ingenuity, and courage would. "Everyone," he called out, his voice steady despite his racing thoughts, "follow the plan. Trust your instincts, and remember what we practiced." The aliens nodded, preparing their own defenses. The villagers moved quickly, following Ethan's instructions without hesitation. The farm had transformed. Irrigation trenches that could slow ships, hay bales arranged to channel movement, and pits hidden beneath fields. Ethan even rigged his tractor to act as a mobile barricade, its plow reinforced with metal plates. As the enemy ships descended, their engines roaring like thunder, Ethan felt a strange calm. This was not just survival. This was humanity stepping into a larger story. With the dragon soldier by his side, and allies from across the stars, they would face this threat not with sheer power, but with intelligence, preparation, and courage. The first ships touched the ground, and a wave of energy pulsed outward. Ethan's traps activated, slowing their advance. The dragon soldier charged, moving with speed and precision, protecting villagers and disarming enemies. Ethan adapted in real time, using his farming tools in unexpected ways, creating diversions, blocking pathways, and guiding his allies strategically. The battle was intense, yet unlike any he had imagined. It was not about mindless destruction, it was about using every advantage wisely, protecting life, and outthinking the enemy. Every move the humans made surprised the attackers. Every strategy the aliens implemented, combined with Ethan's knowledge, created a defense stronger than either alone. Hours passed like minutes. The sky was streaked with energy, light, and movement. Yet, despite the chaos, Ethan felt a deep satisfaction. He had taken his simple skills, his quiet human life, and used them to protect not just his home, but a greater cause. As night fell and the first wave of enemy ships retreated, Ethan stood on a hill overlooking the farm. The dragon soldier landed beside him, breathing heavily but alert. The alien leader communicated telepathically. "Your courage and ingenuity have saved many today. Humans are more than we imagined. You are a valuable ally." Ethan nodded, looking at his fields, his barn, and the glowing ships in the distance. "It wasn't just me," he said softly. "It was all of us humans, aliens, together." For the first time, he realized the truth of the universe's vastness. Humans were small, simple creatures in the grand galaxy, yet capable of incredible impact. With intelligence, empathy, and courage, they could step into challenges far beyond their world. And as the stars shone above, reflecting in the dragon soldier's golden eyes, Ethan understood that this was only the beginning. The universe had noticed humanity, and humanity had responded not with fear, but with heart, mind, and spirit. The battle was over, for now, but the stage was set for even greater challenges. And Ethan, the simple human farmer, was ready to meet them. The morning sun rose over Ethan's farm, casting long shadows across the fields that had become a battlefield of preparation. The previous night's skirmish had ended with the enemy retreating, but their presence had left a mark. Craters and scorched earth reminded Ethan that the next encounter would be far more dangerous. Yet, standing beside the dragon soldier and the alien leaders, he felt a sense of resolve. Humans were small in the galaxy, yes, but small did not mean powerless. Ethan walked among the villagers, checking defenses and giving instructions. Children stayed close to safe zones, while adults followed his guidance in fortifying the farm. The dragon soldier moved silently, inspecting traps and training those who might face the enemy. "You've done well," said the alien leader in Ethan's mind. "Your planning and foresight have given us an advantage. But the enemy will test your creativity and courage today." Ethan nodded. "I'm ready. Let's make sure we protect everyone." For hours, they prepared. Irrigation channels were filled and widened, creating natural barriers. Fields were lined with hidden pits, covered cleverly with straw and soil. Tractors were reinforced with metal plates, plows sharpened, and hay bales arranged to form walls. Even the simplest tools, rakes, shovels, and carts, were integrated into clever defensive strategies. The dragon soldier trained with Ethan, showing him how to move quickly and efficiently while using the terrain. Together, they practiced signaling, coordinating silently with gestures and hums. Ethan realized that humans might not have the raw strength of aliens, but their minds, ingenuity, and ability to adapt could make them formidable allies. Then, without warning, the sky darkened. Enemy ships appeared on the horizon, sleek and fast, moving with deadly precision. Their engines roared like thunder, and the ground trembled under their weight. Ethan's heart pounded, not with fear, but with readiness. "Positions," he called, his voice cutting through the air. Villagers moved quickly, following the plan he had set. The dragon soldier took the front line, wings partially spread, eyes glowing with readiness. Ethan took his place beside it, armed with a reinforced plow and determination. The first wave of enemy soldiers descended, small but fast, equipped with energy devices. The dragon soldier charged, leaping over trenches, blocking attacks, and guiding the humans to safety. Ethan directed villagers to divert the attackers, using trenches and traps. His mind raced, adjusting strategies in real time, making use of every feature of the farm. A group of enemy soldiers approached the barn. Ethan swung his plow, knocking one off balance, while villagers used ropes and nets to immobilize others. The dragon soldier arrived, powerful wings knocking more attackers back, its roar echoing across the fields. The battle raged, but Ethan's strategy held. The enemy moved faster than expected, but the farm's layout and the coordinated defense slowed them down. He realized something crucial. The enemy expected brute force. They did not anticipate the clever use of terrain, traps, and collaboration between species. Ethan moved swiftly, guiding a group of villagers to release irrigation water at a key moment, washing away enemy devices. Another group set up reflective panels, dazzling the enemy and creating confusion. Every action, every adjustment, showed that human creativity could match alien technology. Hours passed. Sweat ran down Ethan's face, but he did not falter. Beside him, the dragon soldier fought with precision, protecting the weak and striking when necessary. Villagers acted with courage they had never known, trusting Ethan's plans and their own instincts. The alien leader observed from a hovering platform, impressed by human ingenuity. Your strategies are effective because they are unexpected. Humans think differently. They adapt. They endure. This is why we need your kind. Ethan's heart swelled. It was not just survival. It was proof that humanity could stand among the stars. Small, simple humans could make a difference not through raw power, but through intelligence, courage, and collaboration. Then, the enemy commander emerged, a larger, armored figure that moved with precision and menace. Its presence inspired fear in its own soldiers. But Ethan did not flinch. He realized that the battle's turning point was at hand. The enemy commander relied on strength and intimidation. Ethan relied on creativity, adaptation, and teamwork. He signaled to the dragon soldier. Together, they devised a plan. The tractor, reinforced and ready, was moved into a narrow passage. Hay bales were tipped to create a funnel, guiding the commander's forces toward a trap. The villagers, ready and fearless, stood in positions to immobilize or confuse the enemy. As the commander approached, the trap was sprung. The tractor blocked its path, forcing it into the narrow funnel. Hay bales shifted, slowing movement, while hidden trenches caught footing off balance. The dragon soldier swooped, its wings creating a gust that threw the commander's energy devices off course. In moments, the commander was forced to retreat, unable to overcome the combined ingenuity of human and alien forces. The rest of the enemy forces faltered, disoriented and slowed by the traps and coordinated defense. They began to retreat, retreating across the fields, across the skies, and finally disappearing beyond the horizon. Ethan's farm, battered but standing, had held. Humanity, ingenuity, and courage had made the difference. The dragon soldier landed beside Ethan, exhausted but triumphant. The alien leader communicated, "You have proven your worth. Humans are more than we expected. You have courage, intelligence, and a will that cannot be broken. Your place in the galaxy is now recognized." Ethan smiled, looking across the farm. Villagers gathered, cheering quietly, tending to the wounded, and helping repair what had been damaged. For the first time, they saw themselves not just as simple farmers, but as beings capable of incredible impact. "You did it," Ethan said to the dragon soldier. The creature hummed softly, nuzzling him in a gesture of trust and friendship. "We did it," he corrected himself. Humanity and aliens, together, had faced the challenge and won. The alien leader approached, bowing slightly. "We will remain in orbit for a time. Your skills and courage will be needed in future missions." But for now, your home is safe. You have earned our respect and trust." Ethan nodded. He realized the truth. Humanity mattered. Not because of strength, not because of weapons, but because of heart, mind, and the ability to act when it mattered most. Small decisions, kindness, creativity, these had shaped the outcome of a battle that could have destroyed everything. The dragon soldier, now fully healed and standing proudly beside him, had been more than an ally. It had been a teacher, a bridge to a larger universe. Ethan felt a deep bond, one that would endure long after the ships departed. Over the next days, the alien coalition helped repair the farm and strengthen defenses. They shared knowledge, technology, and wisdom, teaching Ethan and the villagers ways to improve their world without harming its peace. The simple farm had become a hub of interstellar cooperation, a symbol of what could be achieved when humans and aliens worked together. Ethan spent quiet moments walking among the fields, reflecting on the journey. His life had been simple, yes, but now it was extraordinary. He had faced fear, embraced courage, and discovered that humanity's value stretched far beyond a small planet. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the dragon soldier spread its wings and looked toward the stars. Ethan stood beside it, feeling the wind and the calm after the storm. "You'll leave soon," he said softly. The creature hummed, a sound full of respect and gratitude. "We may travel, but your spirit will remain with us. Humans are not just survivors. You are builders, thinkers, and warriors in your own right." Ethan nodded. "And humans will continue to grow, learn, and face whatever comes, just like today." The stars above twinkled as if agreeing. Across the galaxy, humanity had made a mark, not through conquest, but through courage, ingenuity, and the simple act of helping another being in need. That small act had rippled across the stars, showing that even the smallest worlds could hold the greatest strength. And on his quiet farm, Ethan felt proud. He was not just a farmer. He was a human, a representative of all humanity standing strong in the face of the vast universe. And for the first time, he understood that humans were capable of incredible things, far beyond the limits of their simple lives. As the alien ships prepared to depart, the dragon soldier stood at Ethan's side, a loyal friend and ally. Together, they watched the fleet ascend into the night sky, leaving trails of light behind them. Ethan turned back to his fields, the wind rustling through the crops. Life would return to normal, but it would never be the same. He had glimpsed the universe, and he had proved that humanity's heart, mind, and spirit could shine even in the darkest challenges. For Ethan, the farmer, the galaxy had opened its doors. And humanity had answered, not with fear, but with courage, intelligence, and hope.